We are living in a time of fracture. Fracture between belief systems, between science and spirituality, between people and institutions, and perhaps most dangerously, between morality and meaning. The coherence that once held societies together, however imperfectly, is dissolving. And in its place, we find confusion, conflict, and a hunger for certainty. It is tempting in such times to impose order through authority, to declare moral truths, to enforce ideologies, to silence dissent. But this is not morality, it is moral dictatorship. And history has shown us where that path leads. What we need instead is something more difficult, more demanding, and more enduring philosophical and moral debate. Philosophy has always occupied the uncomfortable space between knowledge and belief. It does not deal in absolutes but in arguments. It questions not just what is right, but why we think it is right, and who gets to decide. In this, philosophy is both a mirror and a compass. It reflects the assumptions of an age and challenges them to evolve. Take for example Friedrich Nietzsche. He was a philosopher who peered into the void left by the collapse of traditional morality. He saw that the old gods were dying and asked what could take their place. But Nietzsche did not prescribe answers, he provoked questions. He called for the re-evaluation of values, not the imposition of new ones. And yet, in the 20th century, some twisted his work into a justification for authoritarianism and cruelty, precisely because they misunderstood the point. Nietzsche did not want to replace one dictatorship with another, he wanted us to think for ourselves. This is the essence of philosophical debate. It is not about winning an argument. It is about keeping the argument alive. In a healthy society, there is space for disagreement, doubt, and revision. In an unhealthy one, these are treated as threats. Today, the breach between science and religion mirrors this deeper malaise. Science tells us how things work. Religion has traditionally tried to answer why. But when religion resists the findings of science, as in the persecution of Galileo, it loses credibility. And when science dismisses all metaphysical or moral inquiry as superstition, it loses humanity. The result is a world governed by technology but starving for meaning. Albert Einstein once said, "Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind." This was not a call for dogma, but for dialogue. He understood that both realms offer essential tools for understanding the universe and our place within it. We don't need to return to old dogmas. We need a new synthesis, one that brings together the empirical power of science with the ethical and existential insights of philosophy and spiritual tradition. This doesn't mean creating a new religion, it means creating a new space where truth-seeking, wonder, and moral reasoning can coexist. Philosophy must be the heart of this space, not as a dictator but as a facilitator. It must remind us that moral certainty is often the enemy of moral progress, that disagreement is not a failure but a feature of a thinking society, that truth is not a weapon to wield but a light to follow. In an age overwhelmed by noise, ideology, and polarization, what we need is not another system of control. What we need is debate, honest, open, courageous, and ongoing. Only through such debate can we hope to build a moral framework strong enough to hold a fractured world together.